do live readings and answer your questions. I would love to hear from you. It's been an interesting morning. The things I like best about this morning is it's been really easy to bring in my soul's light. Good morning, Lisa Davis. Happy birthday, darling. You snookums. I'm so glad to see you're here. Makes me very happy. Wow. My stepdaughter's viewing this show, so that's why I'm all a Twitter. Anyway, so we're here. I'm here just to answer your questions. All you have to do on this live Facebook group, Bringing Forth Soul Consciousness, named after my book, as you can see here on the shelf, which is now an audio book. And you also see that I have to make it viewable to you guys on Facebook, so it's right direction and all that. So this is my book in print, and you can get a signed copy with the autographed sticker on it. Whoopsie, I can't do this without looking. And if you send me $30 via Venmo, and I will ship it out to you via the US mail. This is only in the US because that's what I can afford to ship it for $30. But if you want the audiobook, the links are in the Facebook page and are right there for you to see. So I am really excited about answering your questions. And I'm wondering if Lisa has any questions for me to answer right now. Or if you're just here to show your beautiful self. Okay, I'm looking, I have to get all these things going on the electronics so we can do this live. And here we go. Okay, Lisa says, you look beautiful. Can't wait for the audio. Your voice is 200%. Well, I think it's a channeled book, so having what I did when I was recording it in the recording studio, I went all out and got first class recordings made of each chapter, and I'm channeling as I'm reading. The various chapters are written by either the Akashic beings of light, Anubis, or the great creatress. So I'm channeling the energy of these beings. And I tell you, the great creatress is a lot of energy to hold because she is big. She's big. It is a lot. And so this book is really valuable as an audiobook. That's to me the best version. They say they would love to see people study the book, both listening to the audiobook and reading the book in front of them. And so that all these parts of the brain are engaged and you get the energy of the book. Okay, so now Lisa's asked a very good question. She says, yes, can we talk about forgiving friends who never reciprocated? All right. So Lisa, you tend to be an extremely generous person. And you give when you're not asked to, and you give more than is requested. You're very generous. And so in life, it's no surprise that given your upbringing and the nature of your parents, that having boundaries is one of your challenges and one of the things that are more difficult for you to set. And I know that you're kind of like me. When you are in your mode, your creative mode, you just give it all until you are possibly even more than drained. And it may be too much. It's probably more than people can receive sometimes. So it's important that as you are giving, keep monitoring, like as if you had some kind of way of balancing or seeing how much energy you have given out. I mean, what's remaining? Are you down to 10%? Listen, time to wrap up the project or call it a day, and deliver that. Because if you start getting down to minus 10% and minus 20%, what will happen is your personality will get cranky and resentful. Oh yeah. Then that person is on the hook and they never gave back to you at the level that you gave them. So it's all right to kind of test people and see when you first meet them, see what their levels of giving. Are they reciprocating? Are they just teasing? Are they just soaking it up and not returning anything? You know, at this point in life, you are an established artist, an established tech wizard, and a fabulous human being with a big, 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 big heart. And you don't have anything to prove to anybody. You have already proved yourself, to yourself, to your soul, to your husband, to your daughter, to your grandson, to your former husband. You have already done that proving thing. You're not in the proving grounds anymore. So it's all right for you to be who you are now, as you are, and just take yourself off the hook for trying to prove it, you know? You and come from that wonderful place inside. To me, I'm feeling it down in the depth of my belly, like right around my navel towards the back, and sometimes lower, that all the way down there, like I'm okay. I am exactly as I need to be. And I respect myself and I validate myself because you have proved yourself. And the only one you're proving yourself to is yourself. You've always gone the extra mile, done what had to be done, and, created with it's such a volume of creation, so it's just knowing when to turn your tap on and off, right? And I mean, sometimes it's like I understand this because like when I'm doing readings, it's like I'm in the energy and the energy is lasting forever and it's endless and there's no shortage of the supply. But there is like a reasonable amount that the recipients can receive, that they can receive. And my being aware of this, and also know when somebody's kind of sucking on it or coming for a hit, get me high like you did on the last reading. It's this means they think it's coming from me when it really is coming from within. And just having an idea of how much is left in your tank, like that. And I know I will work until I'm exhausted at 2, and it's not necessarily good. It's not well, because it's a matter of balance. Am I out of balance with myself or the rest of the world? In my giving and my receiving? And usually with women in this culture, we have trouble receiving. We're taught to give and give and give. Um, you know, so it's important that you receive as much as you need and refill your tank in ways that are good. So I know that Jody Prevette is watching too. I can't wait to hear from her. I'm wondering if you have any questions, my dear. Uh, Jody's another one of my favorites. I mean, I love all of you. Once I do readings for you guys, I pretty much fall in love with you. It doesn't matter. Of course, Lisa is my stepdaughter, so she has kind of a special category in that okay, sense. I'm looking at my page again, see if there are any new questions. And oh, Lisa, don't forget to forgive yourself for not knowing the person you gave to what their tolerances were, or having an expectation. And, sometimes I need to go into relationships knowing that I have an expectation and spitting it out and making it obvious, especially if it's like a collaboration or something like that. It's better that people know up front what the expectation is. And about time put in, or energy, or volume, or a level of production, or um, you know, so everybody knows what their part is. If it's clean the bathroom, does that mean the floor too? Yeah, it does. Does it mean the tub? Yeah, it does. Or if it doesn't, then it doesn't include the tub, but you do need the floor cleaned. Whatever that is, like being specific. Lisa says, your intuition is remarkable. Thank you for making me feel loved. Also, today is the first day of Mental Health Awareness Month. Yeehaw! You seem to be in good mental health, my dear, of late. I'm really happy to notice that. And I'm pretty good. It's wild writing this publication business. I mean, I've had to learn the book publishing business on my own, which is kind of dangerous to begin with because I'm so ignorant and I just want to get her done. And you know, nobody was around to tell me it's better to publish on the indie sites first, then publish on Amazon, because the indie sites don't like Amazon. And they think Amazon is the big bad bully. And so get the book up there on indie sites first, then publish on Amazon. So of course I've done it backwards and started at Amazon, and I'm working my other way. And that's why it's taken me a long time, but learning a lot all the way. Never know what's going to happen. Good morning, Rebecca Donald. How are you? It's nice to see you. How did you get a kitty for your mom? And did you get the one she wanted? Anyway, so let's see. Being in balance with ourselves is really an important one. This morning, we drew two at the 7:30 live video on my personal Facebook page. We pulled two cards, and this is the first DNA activation card, and the personality can take in symbols far more easily than they can take in the words that are on the back side of the card. So I always show the symbol first, and I think of the symbol going and landing in my body and letting it work inside of me physically. And because that symbol can just land where it needs to land and contribute to my body and my mind and my energy and my emotions, without my mind having to go, well, that's not right, or I want more of that, or it should be, because that's my mind is designed to evaluate and criticize and measure all the time. And so this symbol, you might be glad to know, this symbol is the service card. You are here to be in service to the one, and this involves serving yourself as well. Nudge, nudge, Lisa. um, all is now in balance so that you can see clearly what your piece is in the grand plan. I'm going to hold that up so you can see it. Make sure that shows up on your service. And I'll take pictures of these cards and put them up on the page as well, the Facebook Bringing Forth Soul Consciousness group page, where this live is being filmed. So we're all in service to ourselves and to one another. Being in balance with that service is important. The other card we drew this morning, and feel free to ask questions. Your questions are why I'm here. I want to be of assistance to you and support everybody. No, okay, no kitty yet, Rebecca says, but soon. I'm sure an opportunity will appear because you are like a kitty magnet, aren't you, Rebecca? Okay, so this is the other card that we pulled during the 7:30 live. And again, you can just let this card sort of float in and work around your head and back of your neck and your shoulders, the throat, especially for people like me with raspy throats lately. It's not sore or anything. I'm just hoarse and I can't seem to get a lot of volume. Some people are saying it's probably allergies. I never think of myself as having allergies. And let this symbol float around the rest of your body. I'm really feeling it in the third eye and in my right eye itself. And breathe in the energy of this card. Just breathe it in. This card is the trust card. Uh-oh. Don't you hate that word? Whenever you think trust, oh no, who am I trusting? Why am I trusting? What's going on here? So it says sacred union with your divine self secures your faith and enables you to trust that all is in perfect order. So trust. Sacred union with your divine self, which I think of as my soul self, secures your faith and enables you to trust that all is in perfect order. Let you guys get a sense of that. All is in perfect order. And when it says sacred union with your divine self, I think of it as how I feel when I have embodied my soul's light. And I use that embodying my soul's light technique all the time. when I get raspy emotionally, when I get a little caught up in something, when I feel depleted, I can embody my soul's light and be refilled. But it's also, trusting is like, oh no, trust and faith, which came first? What's more important? How do they work? Trusting what? And for me, like trusting the divine is that feeling I get when the divine is present in my energy and I am aware of her and her love, and I feel that I am receiving her love in the way that I really need it. It's wonderful. So I'm looking forward to keep asking questions, folks. If you have another one, ask it. If you want to know, you know, whatever shows up that seems important for you to ask. And how are you doing in being of service or trusting the divine or on your path with your life? Are there job changes coming down? I did readings at the Soul Search event they called it Santa Cruz, but it was really Scotts Valley. To me, there's a big distinction. Although it wasn't but a few miles apart. I had a couple of people who were laid off from Google and feeling the pinch. And so I hear you, folks. It's a scary thing, very scary thing. And it puts people's lives into a sense of like topsy-turviness, and takes them a while to kind of regather themselves and restabilize. So Lisa says, our family just did a migration. I like that. I said migration. All of us are experiencing high levels of change. It's exhausting emotionally too. Any advice for changing lives and fear of the unknown? Well, fear, I'm going to do my favorite acronym for fear. Excuse me, the acronym for fear is future events already ruined. So future events already ruined. Whenever that means I'm way out in front of myself and already deciding that things are effed up and I'm gonna pay. I'm gonna suffer, it's not gonna work out in my favor. And so what I recommend for adapting to change is being right here in the present moment. Where are my feet? Where are my hands? Bring my head back into alignment with my spine, and just be in my body, breathe, walk. I know you're starting to walk in your neighborhoods and get to know your new neighborhood as it is. And go ahead and be dangerous, Lisa. I know you said you couldn't get a smile out of most of your neighbors, but you start looking them in the eye and being a dangerous smile, and then it's fine. I think also you spent all those years living in downtown San Francisco where it wasn't safe to look at everybody in the eye and smile. Good morning, Marco. Good morning. Good morning. Marco is my virtual assistant, and he is helping me make new strides and get my work out in the world. And he's good backup for all that I do. It's really wonderful. Um, so adapting to change, it does take a while. Make sure you get enough water, enough food, enough rest, enough non-work. And you're probably still unpacking boxes. Do you remember when your dad and I moved to the place in San Rafael on Prospect? It took me 3-4 months to get through all the boxes and get all the stuff in a place that felt like the right place. And then, of course, I would rearrange the living room every couple of months. But that was just me trying to rearrange the outside of me, trying to get the inside of me to feel right. And I was going about it again, bass act. When I am right with my insides, whatever's going on outside isn't such so emotionally tossing and whiplash. So the more I can be with myself and say it's okay, we're going through change, I'm gonna be all right, I hear you, baby, give yourself a little rock. And maybe say, of course I feel upset, of course I feel destabilized, of course it's confusing, I don't even know where the grocery store is. These things are uh, destabilizing, and it's a big deal. Um, so, I like that, of course, treatment. I learned that from Linda Howe. She was my Akashic Records teacher, and that was one of the best things she ever taught me was the of course treatment. I don't think she called it quite that, but it really does help when I'm feeling a little upset or weird or fearful. It's really good on fear. Really good on fear. Of course, I feel fearful. Of course, I feel anxious. Of course, I feel I don't know what to expect. Of course, of course, of course. And yet everything is all working out now, isn't it? It's all working out. Um, I also like to say, put my perfectionist in her place. Like let her just be sit in by the side. She doesn't need to run the show. As valuable as she can be about dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's and being thorough and like that. Sometimes it's too much pressure. Good morning, Timothy Marshall Benson. How nice that you are here. Good morning, Pat. Good morning, Pat Hanson. Got all my pals. I love seeing all of you. And calming my perfectionist and my fearful person is really important and helps me to just relax in the moment and just be here now kind of thing. You know that one, be here now, right? Be here now. And maybe deepen my breath. Really, drop back in my body, drop down in my body, drop down into the base of my tailbone and into my feet. That often helps me feel a little more comfortable with myself and whatever is the situation at hand. The other thing I did, Lisa, when I was moving and unpacking was one box at a time, just do one box at a time, sort that out, because I remember by the end it was like just wrap it and throw it in a box. It does not matter the category, you know. And so there is a large amount of organization going on while unpacking. Maybe I should make a date with Lisa to come out and help. Oh, hey, Pat Hansen says, so happy your book is now available in audio format. You know, what was it, a couple of years ago, Pat? My sweetheart Peter and I went to lunch with you, and I was like, how do you do this? Pat was one of the first people to hold my hand about publishing a book and get me started. And boy, oh boy, I'm still learning. I'm still learning and how to get it up on different sites. And mostly it's getting to know different platforms, software, so I can get it uploaded onto their site and have my cover size match. And thank God the recordings, I went all out and went first class, went to like a rock and roll recording studio and had this great engineer, Aaron Tedeschi, helped me record this. And, I got there and I'm like, Aaron, I don't know anything about this. So whatever help you can give me and advice, I would surely welcome. And he says, well, it might help you to know that I've recorded about several hundred audiobooks in the last couple of years. So I have some experience. And so none of the sound stuff came back, got kicked out for quality issues. None. It's beautiful. It's perfect. That man had such a highly tuned sense of sound. I mean, it was amazing. He could hear me. He could hear my belly rumble. And so, and there, you got to envision me doing these recordings. I got headphones and a mic in my face, and I've got a big pillow wrapped around my belly and tied on with a scarf in order to mute the belly rumbles, And hey, it's a really remarkable what you can hear when you have things tuned in that closely. Um, and I'm really glad to have the audio there. Like I said, since there are 5 prayers, invocations, and God, what's the other word I use? Basically prayers and invocations in the book. And you get to hear me read them out loud in my voice, channeling whoever gave it to me. And there are 13 energy processes in my book, Bringing Forth Soul Consciousness. It's a perfect experience to have this be an audio book because you listen to my voice as I take you through the process. You can pause it wherever you need to. If you need to finish experiencing that last step or the energy shift that is happening, and then start the thing up again and keep going to the next step, and take it as slow or as fast as you want, or re-listen to things. And the energetic processes are they're also in the back of the final chapter in this book, is just all the prayers and energy processes, invocations. So there's how to embody your soul's light. There's the I and my soul are one affirmations. There's interacting with the space between the 7th and 8th chakras, where you can put energy in, like I have you put the energy of these DNA missing DNA strands into your body. Or you can put a quality, a soul quality, or some kind of thing that you want to experience. Maybe you want to manifest something. You can put that in the 7th and between the 7th and 8th chakra. Anyway, there's the exercise of feeling your soul's light in your body. There's becoming conscious of all that is holy. You want to get blissed out. That is the thing to do, to listen to, becoming conscious of all that is holy. It's just beautiful, just beautiful. Then there's the exercise of claiming your soul. It's an energy exercise, the exercise of receiving light from your future self. Now, doesn't that seem smart? Because, when you look back in the past and you're really worked up about this, or you're afraid of that, and, you're concerned about it, blah, blah, blah. And then you live through it. And a couple of years later, you look back and go, what was the big deal? Right? You got through it. It all worked out, that sort of thing. So receiving light from your future self is a handy skill. Then there's healing an undesirable past life. Woo-hoo. This is applicable to a lot of things, because most of you have had hundreds of past lives, hundreds. And, it's astonishing how many lives we have and how many times we come back here to do this earth life. And why the heck, I haven't gotten an answer to this question myself yet, but why do we, upon entering a body, forget everything we know, everything we learned last time around and the last times around, and everything that we understand when we are in the soul dimension plane and not on the physical plane? That, like, how does that help the soul evolve? That's one of my big questions in life. Here's an exercise. Releasing yourself from judgment jail. We've boxed ourselves in, and I do this myself. He said, Pat says, that's a way to go. Trust your professional. It really was, anyway, don't we all judge ourselves and then box ourselves in, and we get stuck there and we don't really know why? And a lot of it's just our own judging ourselves. Then the exercise of your permanent atom of light. I love this one. It's right up there with embodying your soul's light. These two are so energetically strengthening and centering and balancing and juicing and charging, my battery. That's good. Then there's clearing excessive ancestral influences. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I see it all the time. It's interesting, like this weekend when I was doing readings in Scotts Valley, this woman came to me and I said, do you have trouble with your jaw? And she says, well, not so much anymore, but it's really more my neck and from an old car accident or something like that, or not an injury. And we ended up talking about the ancestors and how her ancestors had like almost a bit in her mouth and were pulling back on the reins. And the ancestors can get in the way sometimes. They can be really pester us and influence our confidence and our ability to go forth with strength and everything. And it's not us so much, it's the ancestors. They're up there going, watch out, you're right at the cliff's edge, you're going to jump off, you're going to die. And yet we are doing what we're here to do, which may mean we are the ones who are clearing the path, who are blazing the trail, who are whacking the path through the jungle. It's amazing. Then there's an exercise in here called manifesting as your soul. Powerful. There's also a whole chapter called masterful manifesting. Then there's another exercise called blessing self-doubt and disappointment into nothingness. The masters, teachers, and loved ones, and the Akashic beings of light, and the great creators, they're so creative and stuff. How to align your self-will with divine will. Now, doesn't that make sense? That seems like a skill that we would want to have, right? Anyhow, you've listened to me long enough. I'm still interested in answering any questions that might be out there for us today, that you all might have. Have I missed anything? There's a couple new people on here. I'd love to hear from you. Timothy, if you got a question, I'd love to hear from you. Just write your question in the comments. And you know what? I really want to affirm for you all that there are no dumb questions. If you have a question, it's something that is important to you, and that means it's important to your soul and to your progression in this day, and maybe something that we can put into more of a peaceful condition so that you can live with it better. You know, some of the things I've had to accept in myself have allowed me to stand up straighter and be stronger and just and stop thinking I gotta fix this, remodel that, and I oughta and shoulda and be if I was only in all that rot. You know, when I just accept myself the way I am and or understand why my soul is asking me to go through this thing, like being disabled with MS for like 20 years. Geez Louise. Or I had 3 tubal pregnancies, a miscarriage, and then we adopted a baby for a month and I had to give him back. The mother changed his mind, or changed her mind, and I had to give the baby back. So, you know, why? What the heck is with that? And unpacking those boxes is a load off, huge load off. Anyway, I think, let me look one last time and see if anybody else is asking questions. Not so far. Just picking my toys up off the floor so I don't lose them underneath the bookshelf. All right. I put the link to purchasing my audiobook in the Facebook group page right below this live. You'll see the links to Kobo and also Storytel. It's also for sale on Storytel. So either one of those, and they could be downloaded to your phone or to your tablet or to your laptop or anything, or a Kindle, but anything like that. So buy my audiobook. Yes, yes, thank you. You are make the world a better place for me, and I so appreciate being in your world. Thank you for having some time to listen and to ask. Keep asking questions. Keep asking questions. It's okay to have questions. All right, I love you all so much. Happy birthday, Lisa. Blessings. Bye now. Have a marvelous day. And there are links in at the end of the in the comments down there or in the description for where you can order my audiobook at Kobo, Rutiken, what is it? Something like that. And I thank you. Bye.